Hi folks, hope you're doing well. It's just gone 8 p.m. on the 9th of September 2020. Yeah. I went to the gym today, had a double hour booked in the cafe weights. It's good. I was pretty much the only one there. I think at the end of the first one, 2 people joined who probably weren't booked in there, but it didn't matter really. Nice fellas, they seem to be nice and friendly. So anyway, for the first hour, I did mainly upper chest with the cable crossover. That was good. Hard work. I did the 64 kilograms, on either side. Did that. Blinking tough. The hardest bit with that is getting it started. Once you get it started, you're in a position where, here you go, I can move now. It's just getting it started. Now, one thing I can do, I think actually I cheated before lockdown. I'd actually positioned the starting point of the the cable thing you're holding on to in each hand. I think I positioned them a bit higher, so therefore you didn't really have to get it going because your arms weren't that low to start with. Because obviously when your arms are low, you've got to get it going. When your arms are higher, you're straight into the pushing upwards, that is. And I think that's probably what I did last time. Focused on the push. Whereas in this one, I've not been doing that. I've been a bit lower down. So I've been on Mark 2. You've got all different numbers going up. I stop it on about 2, 2.5, in between 2 and 3. I think I was stopping it above 3 before. So obviously the highest is 10. That's right at the top of the thing. But that might be more than 10. Not sure. Might be, yeah. Because it's quite tall. So obviously 2's quite high up though. So yeah. Anyhow, yeah, that went okay. Did that. Then what else did I do? I did a tiny bit of but that was the pressing. That was from down on a bench with the bench raised to do the upper chest. And as I say, for about 40 minutes that was. Good 40 to 45 minutes for that. I think possibly a bit longer actually. And after about sort of halfway through that period, that 45 minutes, I then went over to the Smith machine, put some 20Ks on that, and did the upper back. So just basically lowered the bar, lifted it up to chest height, back down. That does the upper back. So you bend over a bit to do that. And so doing that while doing the upper chest. So upper back, upper chest, therefore balance it out a bit. So did that as well. Then once I've done with that, before the finish, I set the starting point at the lowest point and did the arm raise up to above shoulder height to again do a bit more of the upper chest, but a much lighter weight. That session was finished. So about a quarter of an hour break, come back in, mainly Smith machine now, shoulder press, flat bench to do the middle section of the chest. And yeah, so I started off with 20K, that was a warm-up, then added 15K to each side, so that was 35K. I think the bar probably weighs about 10, but I think it says about 11.4 without any weights. That's the resistance you get, 11.4K. So that's 11.4K, possibly right. I'm not totally sure. So anyhow, that was that. But then I thought, right, I had another 2.5. So it was getting a bit heavier now because there's another 5 kilograms in total you just had on. I had another 1.25 to each side. I thought, actually, take the 10 off, take the 5 off, take the 2.5, take the 1.25, just put another 20 on. So now I've got 80 kilograms on there, which is basically my body weight. So it's like, right, okay. I've done this for a while, probably at least before lockdown. I mean, generally speaking, couldn't get on the Smith machine before when they're all upstairs. So it's quite useful. Now you've got two areas. Where the Smith machine is downstairs with a cable crossover. There's another cable crossover upstairs. But upstairs, you've got the bars, but just the bars basically. You need a spotter if you're going to do heavy. Because certainly, if I was going to do 80k on those, which would really be a case of, well, as I say, with the Smith machine, if the weight you put on is the weight, if the resistance doesn't matter once you put weight on, then it's basically 80k. So the equivalent weight on the bars upstairs would be 30k either side, because the bars weigh 20. So there's your 80k. Obviously, if the Smith machine means that when you put 80k on, you include the weight of the bar you're pushing up, which is 11 at 91.4. So therefore you're going to put 71.4 onto the bar upstairs and make it equivalent. But yeah, I would say when I was doing 80, that was hard work. 2 reps, okay. 3rd rep, really struggled. I did 2 sets of that. On the 2nd set, I think even the 2nd rep on that one, I only got 3/4 of the way up to where I was supposed to lock it. I was supposed to lock it into the number 10 position. I locked it into number 9 because I couldn't get it any higher. So that was good. That was like saying, yep, okay, you pushed that to the point where you couldn't do anymore. That's where you have to stop. Without a spotter, you couldn't go any further, even with a Smith machine. Because otherwise, with a Smith machine, you try and do one more and you're stuck at the bottom. You can't shift it. Because if you've only managed to do half to 3/4 on 1 rep, you're not wise at all to try and start another one. So, all right. So, that was good. But then I took the 20s off and I put 10s back on. Not all the rest, just 10s. So 20 plus 10 made it into 35 on the bars each side. And just did like 6 reps. And then did loads of those. And then took the 10s off. And just finished with the 20s and just doing 5 reps. And then do 3 sets of that. To finish with that. But then I was also using the cable crossover where I was arms across in the middle and arms across down to do the lower chest and the middle bit of the chest. So yeah. But with the 2nd hour, I lasted 40 minutes. After 40 minutes, I was like, right, I'm going. That's enough. I got to the point where I could barely shift anything, where I knew that the chest was knackered, absolutely knackered. And I knew there was no point. There's other things I could have done arms, I could have done shoulders. But because I'm coming back tomorrow, having a double session upstairs, I'll be doing shoulders there. Yeah, I'd rather do arms there as well, but yeah. I'm going to see what happens tomorrow, because if the downstairs isn't completely packed, I might sneak downstairs and have a go with the arms down there quickly before finish. That'd be probably on the 2nd hour, not the 1st. So on the 1st hour, it'd be a case of, again, upper back, really. And then the 2nd hour, it would be shoulders. So it'd be rear shoulders, side shoulders, front shoulders. And take a bit of time on that, plus a bit of forearms. I've readjusted some weights out here at my bit of garden. I had one that was about 12, which was a bit too light. So 12k each. I had one that was like 37k each, which, yeah, I'm not mucking around with that thing. They're good for some things, but not for others. Yeah, for carrying around, lifting, that sort of stuff, they're pretty good, but, no use for anything else. And I had a set of dumbbells that were like 22. I had 2 5s, sorry, on each side. So that was 20 plus the bar weighs 2, so 22 each. So I feel like take the 5s off, put 2.5s on there. Make it about 17 and a half. I can use that to do forearms. Yeah. Well, basically by forearms, I mean, lift the weight from the floor, lift it up into a position where you can do a shoulder press, then back down. Because that's where you do the forearms. And deal with that controlled. And so you can even do a shoulder press with it. And you're doing forearms that way. Because one thing I found is going to the gym. I've said this on other ones, actually. Well, I'll say it quickly. Going to the gym, you cheat a bit. Because you use the cable crossover, because you use the bars, like the Smith machine, you don't go from basically a low weight to a high weight on dumbbells over a period of time. Because if you do it that way, your forearms would be catching up and would be able to shift whatever weight you're able to shift. But because you skip a lot of that by doing the cable crossover and the Smith machine, your forearms just can't shift the weight. Because obviously, if I can do 64k either side on chest press with the cable crossover, then I can probably do at least 35 to 40 probably on dumbbells on chest press. But there's no way, shape or form my forearms are going to get that weight anywhere near there. So got to work on forearms. Got to do that. So that's something I'll probably do in the second session tomorrow. Do a little bit of work on that. What I may just do with that, if I can get a bench to use, is just get like some 20k dumbbells, 22k, that sort of stuff. Put it into position, do a little bit of pressing with chest, back down, lift it up again a few minutes later, into position, back down. Yeah. Because then, once Amber's pups are gone, I can get my bench back down onto the stones and use the heaviest use that 35k set of dumbbells. Yeah, so it's like 70k press, which is quite decent, really. That's good. And because at least with my one, I've got decline on the bench. They haven't got a decline at the gym. So, yeah, I can start pushing that as well. So, yeah. I mean, actually, the dumbbell bar for the 35k one is really good, a lot bigger. So you can really put some weight on that thing. Yeah, if you're happy to go and buy more weights from places like Argos or wherever you want to go, then you can actually really load them up with some pretty heavy weights because they're massive bars. Yeah, I might have to get another set of those because they are really useful. Yeah, I'm sure I could get up to at least 40k on each. Yeah, so for chest press, that's not bad with dumbbells. If I need higher, I can do that at the gym. All right. So yeah, all fun and games. Indeed. Quite brilliant, yes. I say that situation, yeah, we'll see what happens tomorrow. See what happens to that. Now, when I was talking the other night on the last midnight walk and talk with Collies, I mentioned there about one of the really important points of life is self-improvement. Now, I mention this because you go to most gyms nowadays, you'll find staff there that are fat. Some even that are obese. So what I don't understand is you work in a gym. You work in a fitness center. And you are incredibly unfit. We're all in situations, basically we're all in situations where we need to work on stuff, all of us. As I said before, none of us are perfect. We all have a lot of stuff we need to work at, we need to figure out, we need to deal with. With some, it's as obvious as that. With others, it's not so obvious. But it's like, you talk about, I was talking about fitness the other day. I was talking about going to the gym because I owe that to the person that I hope to marry. I owe that to her. I don't know her. But I know if she's anything like the person I hope she is, I owe that to her to make that effort. To give her the best version of me that I can possibly give her. Now, as I say, it's disrespectful if you're in a relationship or you want to be in a relationship, not to make that effort, not to deal with that. To be sort of settled in your body. Yeah, because there's that belief, as long as you're happy with the body you got, that's okay. Yeah, no, it isn't. Not really. It's a point maybe you're not supposed to be. Maybe the whole point of love and of life is that you're supposed to work at you, to improve you. Not just for the person you're with, but for yourself and for the other people in your life. Yes, you live longer. If you're healthy, you're going to live longer, which is better because if you love somebody, why would you want to have them lose you way earlier than they should? Because you decided to be unhealthy in your choice of life. To allow yourself to put on tons of weight, to have a drinking habit, to smoke, to use drugs, whatever is yours. These are things that if you love someone, deal with that stuff. Get to the point where you can deal with it. With God's help, anything can be dealt with. So I said each of us have many issues, not just one, many issues. Hundreds, really. How do we know which issue needs to be dealt with right now? We don't. We haven't got the foggiest idea. Ask yourself the question, how well do you know you? And in most cases, we don't know ourselves very well at all. We really don't. We certainly don't know what we need to do right now. We just hope that what we're doing ends up, taking us on the right path that we need to be on. But it's just guessing. It's just pot luck most of the time. We haven't got the foggiest notion. We just react to something, and we hope that that reaction isn't going to lead us into something bad. That's why we need to be guided by the Holy Spirit. Because God knows us far better than we could ever know ourselves. Far better than we could ever know ourselves. And God knows exactly what we need to deal with now. It may be a case that dealing with one issue will release, say, if we have 100 issues, it's quite possible dealing with one issue could release 50 of those issues. So in dealing with one issue, we now just have 49 issues to deal with. Because dealing with that one thing released 50 others of the issues we have. They just suddenly disappeared. And it's very much a case that with the 49 left, there'll be one or two that if we deal with those and we deal with them right, in the right way, even in the right order, we're left with one or two, because the 49 will just disappear and leave us with just one or two. And that seems bad math. The 49 would just sort of disappear, as in, not completely. We still have one or two, but, say 46, 47 would disappear then, yes. Yeah, so we need to be guided by God, but we need, even in COVID, if you're allowing yourself to, if you're letting yourself go to a certain degree because of COVID, then you've got to get yourself back right. You do. You allow something like COVID to set you on a path that is a bad path for you. Well, what's going to be the next thing that you allow to set yourself on the same sort of bad path? Because understand that very important point. If you are married to somebody, your body does not belong to you. It belongs to them. So you shouldn't be putting on weight, really. You should be looking after that body. It's not yours, it's theirs. And even more so, that body belongs to God before it belongs to your partner. That's why the person you're married to can't use that body in any way that's dishonorable to God. Because you both belong to God before you belong to each other. But you do belong to your partner, to your husband or wife. So letting yourself go, not a good idea. Get to know your partner, your husband or wife. Get to know what they like about you. Don't let that area slip. That's something they like. Work on other areas to create other areas of you that they may also like. I say, in the end, you've got to take responsibility for your life. No one else is responsible for your life apart from you. No one else. You can't blame the school you went to. You can't blame your friends. You can't blame your parents. You can't blame anyone. Although you may have had bad parents, tough luck. It is. When you got to the point of being an adult, you started making decisions for yourself and you understood the difference between right and wrong, and you started choosing wrong, you became responsible for your life. No one else. You need to do the work. I made a video earlier about, was it even yesterday? I'm not sure. I think it was yesterday. The lady who was doing the or the women that do this, showing the bits and pieces. Well, there was another lady now who who's done lots of pornography. And she now is basically encouraging the feminist movement to petition for her to have all the videos she's made removed because she now doesn't want to be in that industry anymore. But then she's lied. She's lied about how much money she made. She's lied about how long she was doing it. She's lied about how many videos she actually made, as in how many films she was in. And it's stupid. You made mistakes in your life. Yes. Why are you admitting to your mistakes 30%? 30% truth is what you're giving. 70% of what you're saying is a lie. Why? Either no truth or truth. The full truth is not going to turn these people against you. The fact that you earned, I think the lady claims she earned about 7,000 American dollars when she actually earned at least 200,000 American dollars. Now, that's a massive discrepancy. So, come on, take responsibility for your decisions. Take responsibility for your life because, for your decisions is because of the fact that there were videos of this lady who had done the pornography. She was on half the screen. Another lady was on the other half. The other lady was saying that this woman was basically forced to go into pornography. She was forced to do things against her will in that way. No, she wasn't. She wasn't. If she was, but then she should be calling the police because, anyone being forced to do anything like that, that is against the law. So call the police. Don't try and have excuses as to why you behaved in an immoral manner. And you gave your body to the pornography industry for about 3 years. Again, she said it was about 3 months. It was actually over nearly 3 years, 2 years and about 6 months. So it's just insane. Take responsibility for your decision. Take responsibility for your life. Work on you. If you want to know the purpose of life, that is the purpose of life. To work on you, to make you into a better person, a better version of you. From a Christian point of view, to make you into someone that God can use. God's the one who's really making you. You're just enabling him to do so, really. But you've got to want it done. If you don't want it done, it's not going to get done, is it really? God's not going to force you to change you. It's up to you. Well, it's like this new situation from the government. Churches have missed a fantastic opportunity that they should have taken, and if they're being guided by God, they would have taken. There's such a thing as, I've forgotten exactly what they call it. I think the support bubble is the name of it. So the thing that the government have basically said now is 6 people maximum you're allowed to meet up with. Anyone that you're breaking the law and you will be fined. Now, with the exemptions of certain things, one of which, support bubble. Now, church is, and certainly has been for certainly my life, a maximum of being a support bubble. That's it. The church should have signified itself all over the country as a support bubble. But they didn't. So therefore they can't meet. It's shameful. I mean, I was annoyed last night, really annoyed with the whole situation. It's like the meeting that I was hoping to go to. We heard a few weeks ago that churches were open up. So therefore, this meeting on this Saturday would be in the town hall in the next town. That there's no reason why that couldn't have happened. If churches were meeting, there's no reason why that couldn't have happened. Well, of course, it's not happening. It's going to be done online, so you can tune in to watch. Yeah, that's not fellowship. We are in desperate need of fellowship right now. In desperate need of fellowship, and what we're getting is watch us online. We're going to have the fellowship. You can sit and watch us have fellowship. Yeah, wonderful. Yeah, not good enough. I'm sorry. No. There are people who the only Christian fellowship they get is that sort of thing. That's all they get. And now these sort of things are saying, well, you can watch this online. No, that's not fellowship. I mean, there's no sense of fellowship in that at all. Even though most churches and even that sort of thing, the fellowship there is really, you get a cup of tea, you say hello to people, that basically is it. But it's better than nothing. During COVID, we've had pretty much nothing. Nothing at all. And so I don't get it. I mean, for me, so I've had Christians, I spoke to on the phone, they said they're just driven past, or they're going to be driving past where I live. Well, I said, stop in and have a cup of tea. Oh, no, we can't do that because of COVID. What are you on about? You can't do that. Why not? Why? You're given into fear of some virus that really is... it's what it is. If you're going to die from it, you're going to die from it, really. Stopping in to have a cup of tea with someone, we're not going to have a kiss. I'm not going to be coughing all over you, and you won't be coughing all over me. That's a certainty. We're not going to be hugging for ages, saying snogging and all that lot. So, come on. Cup of tea, chat. Do it outside if necessary. No, they won't do that. No. Aye. Oh, well, there you go. Say it's... So I was annoyed last night. I said to God about it. I said, hold it. I said, we had this prophecy. You're going to get the church right. I said, how on earth are you going to get the church right when the church is only meeting? This is the way things are now. In March, who would have thought that in September we'd be, still at a situation where churches couldn't meet? And we bowed down to that. Because we're just bowing down to it. We don't need to, because we're not being guided by God. If we're guided by God, then we would have had ourselves designated as support bubbles. So therefore, we can have met. We can have met a few times a week. Most churches can have met a few times a week as a support bubble for their members. That's what church is supposed to be about. That's the whole job of a pastor. Support. Oh, well. Yeah, there you go. It is what it is. So I will leave it to it for now. There you go. There's not much more to talk about. So that'll do you for now. You take care. God bless, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.